Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Joshua Chris podcast. Today, I've got a senior UI UX designer, and she has a lot of other things actually that she does. Um, why don't you go ahead, Pamela? Tell the people about yourself, and just introduce yourself to the audience.
Okay. Thank you, Joshua. Just like you said, my name is Pamela. I'm a UI UX designer. Actually, I didn't start off as a UX designer. I started off as a lawyer. I've been called to Nigerian bar. I've also dived into so many other things before I decided that okay, why don't I stick to UI UX for now? I've been in the banking industry. I've stayed in banking for over 4 years. I've also dived into data analysis, graphic design. I do video editing. There's a lot of talent, or there's a lot of things that interest me, and so I kind of explore them. So yeah, I'm also a UX designer. I teach UI UX design. I have a YouTube channel where I teach also both free and paid versions. So yeah, I'm a creator too. That's basically what I do. Thank you, Joshua.
Yeah, pleasure so mine. You're currently in Lagos, right?
Yeah, I'm based in Lagos for now.
That's cool. That's cool. So when I actually had that call with you, were you in Lagos or Port Harcourt? I did have a call with you. You remember, right? I reached out to you. I wanted to hire a couple designers.
Yes, I was in
Yeah,
Lagos when you
for
called.
internship or something like that. Oh, yeah, that's
Uh,
cool. All right. So, I mean, specifically today, you wanted to talk about, how, people can actually make money as UI UX designers, but, we prepare the questions in a way that it would actually touch other, necessary aspects in UI UX. Yeah, so I'm excited about everything we've got prepared for today. It's gonna be absolutely beautiful. Are you excited?
yeah, sure. I'm excited.
Okay. All right. So let's go back to the beginning. All right. I want to know about what first sparked your interest in UI UX, and you could also talk about how you transitioned from law into design.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you for that question, Joshua.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So UI UX is, I know a lot of people will say is for people that are creative and all of that. And just like I said, I didn't really start off as a UI UX designer. I started off
Okay.
doing law.
Oh yeah.
So my field in law, I spent 6 years reading law, and some parts I kind of touched bit of corporate law
All
and all
right.
of that. It's all about discovery, right?
Yeah.
Research and all of that. And I'm one person that I like learning things. I like acquiring skills. I like being productive. I like to see what I do in my hand.
Yeah.
Just like recently I decided to learn a skill. I just decided to learn how to revamp wigs, just like the one I'm wearing now.
It
Right.
is
So
beautiful.
that's how he started with me. I did law, went to banking, then I decided that okay, I can actually do more, right? I
Yeah.
started with data analysis first. So after data analysis, I realized there was something called UI UX. And I was
Yeah.
designing stuff. I was designing mobile applications. I think when I started, I designed Instagram interface, and it was beautiful. And I felt, okay, there's a lot of creativity here. And in as much as UI UX is not just about what we do, the interface is about the experience of the users. We do a lot of analysis, data analysis in UI UX too,
That's right.
right? I decided that why don't I take all the skills that I've acquired in terms of customer experience, complaint management, and all of that? Why don't I then put it into UI UX? And when I started, though it was confusing as far, I kept on asking people, how do I merge all the skills that I have in terms
Mm-hmm.
of data analysis,
Yeah.
my banking experience?
Yeah.
Many people didn't give me that answer, but since I've been in UX for some time now, I
Yeah.
kind of see how everything that I've learned so far in life actually fit into user experience design. You understand?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think when I started, it was more like generally let me do this, let's see how it goes, let me do this, let me see how it goes. A lot of people will say, oh, I'm confused, I don't know which one to do. But I will say, do everything, touch base on everything. You will find one that you're so comfortable with and you're going to settle. And the ones you've actually learned will not be a waste, because there's always no knowledge is a waste. There's always somehow you can infuse whatever you know there into user experience design. So yeah, that's basically how I started.
Yeah. And we also do have challenges, when you want to transition and stuff like that. So let's talk about challenges of starting out. And I mean, for some people, breaking into tech can be tough, right?
Yeah.
Especially, something as competitive as UI, UX, you know. So let's talk about, looking back, what were some of the biggest challenges you faced when you were just starting out, and how did you overcome them?
So when I set it up, one of the biggest challenge I faced was the courses, right? So
Okay.
it's it's either I get a course. The first course I took, it was nice, it was fine, but it wasn't as detailed enough for me, because I was lucky I got gigs and jobs almost immediately, right? But those
Okay.
courses were not as detailed as that, in terms of that there was so many things I was lacking in terms of knowledge, in terms of what I was supposed to do or what I
Okay.
was supposed to know. So I saw myself like asking a lot of questions, reaching out to a lot of people, as but at the end of the day, I realized that I needed to do this on my own. So
That's
I
right.
can say like 70% I'm self-taught, 30% I kind of picked it up from one or two courses that I've taken. And again, if you now see the very detailed courses, they're so what's the word? They're so rigorous that you as a beginner will become confused and lose interest in UI UX, because they
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like they ought to focus so much on the user experience, design, information architecture. All those things are great, don't
Okay.
get me wrong,
Yeah.
but there's need to balance UI and UX, right?
Yeah.
Because everybody, when I said that, because everybody kept on putting pressure on the user experience aspect, I was very good with the user experience aspect, but my UI was not actually very good, right?
Okay.
So I had to take up on myself to like start designing like almost every day before I finally got very good with UI UX. And that's part of the reason that failed my own startup, which is Hello Dreams, where I teach user experience design. So in my class, what I do
Awesome.
is to take those challenges that I know that I encountered, and then I simplify it for people. So for my class, everybody gets to design as much as 30 UI designs,
Okay.
right? And you get
Yeah.
to also understand what user experience is, you understand the research. So it's not all theoretical for me. It's about
Yeah.
practical. Show me how it is done.
That's right.
And then when you're teaching me design, tell me the reason why you're choosing a font, right?
Okay.
Tell
That's
me the
right.
reason why you're choosing this particular color. Those are the questions that I found very when I started. Those were my challenges. People didn't explain. They would say, "Okay, let's take Poppins as a font. Let's use font 20," but there was no justification for that. You understand? So I
Yeah.
didn't really understand things like hierarchy in design, font pairing, all those very little things that people take little, but they're actually very important. So yeah, those were my challenges, but eventually I kind of overcame it, right? And again,
Yeah.
imposter syndrome.
Oh,
So
okay.
when you start and you see a lot of senior designers out there, they
Mm.
put up their stuff, and sometimes even when you reach out to some senior designers to ask them, "Oh, how is your work?" Some people are not too kind enough to be gentle with upcoming designers. They'll just like throw shades at you or tell you something that can demoralize you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Those kind of things. I had to tell myself, I mean, you know, okay, so I realized that those professional designers that are saying that my work were not perfect at that time were not necessarily my clients. You understand?
Yeah.
So a layman client might not see all those um maybe detailed mistakes that a professional designer will necessarily see.
That's
Do
right.
you understand?
Yeah.
So I started posting my work without, okay, I know I'll get better. Let me just keep doing what I'm doing. It's
Yeah.
good enough at this point. I'll get better. So that was why, and that was like partly how I got some of the gigs that I got from social media, posting what
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
You understand? So I kind of use my challenges or the problems that I encountered for my own good. And I think that's what I keep telling people to do. Most people that I mentor, don't let these things weigh you down. You can actually use it for your own good. So yeah, that's
That's
it.
that's really beautiful. I do want to know this. I mean, it's not part of the questions, but did you start off freelancing or you maybe had an internship or something like that?
No, I started off freelancing.
Okay.
Um so I didn't see myself as a novice or
Mm-hmm.
particularly a newbie because I'm a lawyer, one. I have experience in that aspect. I have experience in banking. Someone that has done over 4 years in banking. I'm not a newbie, right? So if you know user experience is about understanding the users, the research. When you design something, there's a justification for what you have done. Do
Yeah.
you get those skills? I already acquired most of those skills from customer experience. Do you get
Yeah.
how to
Yeah.
communicate with clients, send out surveys, take back the surveys, interpret it, all those kind of things. I already had the skills. So when I started, I wasn't pushing for internship myself. I was
Okay.
pushing, oh, let me start making money.
Oh
It
yeah.
wasn't about making internship. So I didn't start up with an internship. I started with a gig, a full-time gig. Even though at the time they gave it to me, I wasn't 100% sure that I could do it, but I took it. And because, there are resources out there that can help me. So
Yeah.
yeah, I set it up as a freelancer.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. So you did actually make mention that, one of the challenges you had was actually, UI, user interface, and,
Yes.
making designs and stuff. Then you started making designs, daily. I love that, putting in the effort, daily and stuff like that, but actually consistently. So
Yeah.
I do want to ask right now, if I were just to ask you, if you were to design something, how do you go through um get an inspiration? How do you just know what to do? Do you how does it what's your path like? What's the roadmap if you want to design something right now? A simple page, a simple section, you know, how do you get inspiration to actually bring that? Do you know what I mean? How do you do you?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
It's simple. Like last on Thursday, one of my classes, the topic was design process,
Okay.
right? Was the simple design process. It's just a simple design process. The first thing you do is your idea stage, right?
Hmm.
No, the research state. You want to
Okay.
start research
Yeah.
first, right? When you get a gig or a project to work on, it can be confusing in the sense that you might feel overwhelmed. Some of the terminologies, the industry might not even be something you're familiar with, you know. But I think I like that rush in sense that I take my time and I start doing research.
Hmm.
I can spend as much as 50% of the time gathering research,
Okay.
doing research and understanding the industry and understanding the people I want to design for, and
Yeah.
then creating my mood board. You
Okay.
see that mood board? That
Yeah.
mood board is very important in the sense that mood board is just like inspirations from different websites that you've gathered. Maybe you've gone to Pinterest or you've seen like
Yeah.
a particular website that does the same thing,
Yeah.
two or three or five of them. You just copy most of them, put them in your mood board.
Where do
Go to
you where do you create that? What platform do you use?
I use Figma. I can create my mood
Okay.
board on Figma, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So I do that on Figma, just keep gathering them. And, we designers, we kind of do the design first in our head before
Hmm.
we start, right? So
Yeah.
once you have a good mood board, I keep telling people, if you have a good mood board, you've done your research, you have a solid understanding of what you're about to design. And importantly, you have a solid understanding of um who you're designing for, what your client wants. Something that happened to me last 2 weeks, I did a simple graphic design for a
Okay.
client. Now, this client, I did it and I was so sure the client was going to like it. It was just a simple,
Don't tell
it was,
me he or she didn't like it.
no, 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 he didn't like anyone.
Oh
He
my
didn't like
god. I
anyone.
know that
And that
feeling.
was that was because I didn't really understand what he wanted. You
Okay.
get,
Yeah.
so he wanted something very minimalistic, extremely minimalistic. You know, when you have a book like this and you just
Hmm.
write 1, 2, 3 lines, just left alignment, that was
Yeah.
all.
Oh
He couldn't
yeah.
have even taken me up to 1 hour to come up with that design. But the
Yeah.
one, because I felt like I understood what he wanted, it took me like the whole day to come up with that
I
design.
think I saw a
And
post
he's,
of yours on LinkedIn. You shared something around this lately.
yeah,
Yeah, I think I read that.
understanding what your users want. So
Yeah.
again, just to reiterate,
Okay.
you need to first of all, the beginning part of your design process, which is your research, right? You do
Yeah.
your research very well. Understand who you're designing for.
Mhm.
Understand what the industry already is doing. Other competitors, you need to understand the
That's right.
competitors.
Yeah.
Understand what your client wants and what their users need. I mean, and then gather your mood board. I mean, you're good to go, right? And
Yeah.
that doesn't mean in the design stage, all the design processes. It doesn't mean that maybe if you're in the prototype stage, you cannot go back to the first stage, which is the research stage,
Yeah.
right? Or your
Yeah.
brainstorming stage. No, you can go back in any stage, but just don't play with your research. That's the beginning part of it. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's basically how I come up with a good design.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. That's nice. So nice to know. Do you know what? Actually, right now, a lot of questions are coming to my mind. But I'm gonna ask you some of them later. So here's
Okay.
another one that I actually prepared to ask you. Getting hired. Now we're talking about breaking into UI UX. So getting hired
Yeah.
with no experience. You know, one of the biggest questions we hear from aspiring designers is, how can I get a job in UI UX without prior experience? What would you advise someone in this position to do to stand out in a job market that demands experience from day one? You know what I mean? Go on
Yes, I
LinkedIn right
understand.
now. Okay, go on.
I know, like LinkedIn is crazy. A lot of people are out there looking for jobs. So one thing I would say is I'm not oblivious of what is happening today. Like, things are very, very competitive out there, right?
Yeah.
And this is the time where one has to go the extra mile.
Mhm.
So I think people should see job. We should see job hunting now as a job on its own. Do you
I
understand? So
see.
if you're looking for a job now and you don't have experience, you need to do what another person is not thinking of doing. But let me lay it down in simple.
Okay.
I think someone from my community on Instagram chatted me recently that he's looking for jobs. He's looking for a job. He's a UX designer and he hasn't gotten any jobs so far. So
Yeah.
what he did was he just sent me his links to different um designs that
Designs.
he has done.
Okay.
And after he sent, I allowed him like go on, let's see what you have. When he was done, I asked him two questions. First of all, I checked his Instagram page and there was nothing on his Instagram page, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I then asked him, um, do you have an optimized LinkedIn? Do you have a CV? He does not have anyone. Now he said that from his conversation, I'm not sure he knows how to um come up with all those things.
Okay.
But hear it from me, from a professional CV writer. So if I encounter a client, if you don't have any experience in UI UX and you want to write a CV that you want to send out, let's even assume again that you don't have a portfolio. Like, for designers, we can host portfolios on Framer, Behance, and you've not done all those case study, let's say what you have is simply just your designs on Figma, different screens and all of that. Not to worry, there's a way around it. Now, in your CV, you're going to focus on what is important or what can portray you as someone that has skills. Now, instead of focusing on experience, which you haven't worked for any organization in terms of UI UX, you focus on the skills that you have. I know that a lot of people like arranging things on CV in terms of your bio, about section, then maybe you put your education, then you put your work experience. No, make sure you put whatever is going to sell you first. If it's skill section, put your skill section there. That is going to speak volume for you at the moment because you don't have any experience.
That's
Think
right.
about it. When someone pick up your CV, what's the first thing they will see? You want the first thing they see to be what will sell you, not
Yeah.
something irrelevant. So
Yeah.
if education does not even portray that you are strong in UI US, push it down. Just
Mhm.
push it down. This is my own
Yeah.
opinion, right? Push it
Yeah.
down and put something that can, maybe you have certification that you've gathered. Let that be the, after your bio section, your about section, let your certifications be the next thing that you put. Now, when it comes to experience, again, I tell people don't discard whatever experience you have before now because you feel like you transition into tech and tech is a very novel field to you and all of that. No. Um, let's say, for instance, you've done customer experience, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, instead of writing in, when it comes to work experience, um, instead of writing things like your job, your day-to-day activity in terms of you pick calls, you attend to clients, talk about your achievement in terms of what can relate back to user experience,
Okay.
right?
All right.
So let's say you call you call, I know customer service people call clients and do surveys. You were able to conduct 100 surveys in quarter 1. You understand?
Yeah.
Which at the end of the day, because those surveys, the company actually interprets it and it actually helps the company to do better on their social, on their digital products, right? Talk
Yeah.
about the survey, how many surveys that you've conducted and how it actually translated into let's say an actionable insight for the company. You understand? That
Yeah.
one is one bit. What else could you have done? Um, you as much as sold, you're a salesperson. Sales is good because you've learned how to relate with people. You understand what people want. That's something again that is good with UI UX. Talk about it in terms of achievement,
That's
not
right.
job functions. Now you don't have experience in UI UX, but you have somehow convinced the recruiter or the hiring manager or whoever is reading your CV that you have experience that can, or you have the skills that can relate to UI UX design.
Mhm.
Now, lastly, on your CV, since you don't have a detailed portfolio, a case study, you can have a section that says links to um, my designs. When I started, that is what I did, and that CV got me my job, got me a job. I didn't have a working portfolio. I think I did a video about it the other day on my YouTube channel,
Oh
Pamela the
yeah.
Design.
Yeah. I saw it.
So that place on my CV, there was a section where I just put links to all my designs. I titled them maybe dashboard design, please view, uh, sales dashboard, mobile application design. That was the CV I sent out to a big hiring manager, and I got a job at that time. This was like 2 years ago.
Okay.
You understand, that was a
Yeah.
CV. I was busy, so I couldn't have the time to like come up with something much more elaborate.
Mhm.
So not having an experience doesn't mean that, I feel it's people's interpretation of what they think experience is. For instance, if someone asks me leadership position, let's even say I've never been in a leadership position. I have 4 younger ones. That is good enough for a leadership position.
Let's go.
You understand? So you need
Yeah.
to learn to think about you as a person and think about the strengths that you have and then interpret it into what can favor you. I think that's how you can then map out time. If you're looking for a job, give yourself 3 months and say, every day I will send as little as 2 to 3 job to people. Apply for 2 to 3 jobs. There, you mustn't put all your eggs in one basket like
Yeah.
LinkedIn. There are other platforms like Arc, um, which other one do we have out there? You know, there are other silent platforms where people get jobs. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Position yourself out there. It mustn't be Upwork. Upworks are they're too competitive. Fiverr, too competitive. In short, Upwork is asking us now to pay for connect to get a job on Upwork.
Yeah.
I find it absurd, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
So, I think people should think outside the box and then see the job hunting as a job on its own.
Oh yeah.
Every day, apply to 2 to 3 jobs and keep on doing. You will get network, reach out to recruiters. You're at the back of your computer, nobody's going to beat you. Send them
Yeah.
email, you know. I think that's just it.
That's right.
So yeah.
Let's talk about. I mean, that was really beautiful. The way you actually packaged everything, and just said it. That was really good. You know, yeah, I'm definitely sure the audience right now they're getting so much value from this. Let's talk about making money in UI UX. I know you want to talk about this because you're passionate about. I know that you actually have your own community or communities, and you have people under you. I haven't seen the work you've been doing. Beautiful job. And sometimes your designers they post and they tag you, and I look at that, and I'm like, "Oh, you didn't quite. Maybe I didn't really know so much, but the ones I've seen, I'm like, you're doing a great job.
Yeah, thank
So
you.
yeah, pleasure. So let's talk about making money in UI UX, monetizing UI UX skills. We do know that UI UX design can be very lucrative, right? But for designers, the path to monetizing their skills can feel, a bit unclear. So, what are some of the most effective ways designers can start making money, whether it's through freelancing, contract work, or other avenues? What have you got to say?
Well, for me, I um if you ask me, after being a UX designer, I
Yeah.
realized that I had other skills, right?
Okay.
So I think about it as, what value can I add to somebody? Not
All right.
necessarily oh, I'm looking for a job. I
Yeah.
look at it as, what value can I give to you as an individual,
Yeah.
right? So I think that was my thought when I started writing CV, when I started doing LinkedIn optimization, when I actually say, okay, let me do graphic design too,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Let me do video editing.
You get a lot of
I,
skills. I've seen it. You've shared on your LinkedIn how that you learn a lot of things. That's amazing. I do like that. Yeah, go on.
yeah, so I think it's part of being a user experience person
Okay.
that actually helped me to discover that I actually have this kind of skills. So if we focus on being a UX, a designer,
All
I
right.
know that if you know how to use platforms like um, um, Figma, for instance, you'll be able to navigate other platforms like Framer, Canva, and stuff.
Yeah.
So on Canva, you can create templates and sell. It could be as simple as YouTube template or designs, right? And I keep
Yeah.
saying that I think recently I've been thinking, why, instead of thinking of, oh, I'm looking for a job, why don't I think about the value that I will give to people? So, for instance, if someone is looking for how to make money from UX design, you can decide to create like templates, design a mobile application fully and sell it. And if you're outside Nigeria, you have so much opportunities out there. I don't think if you're a UX designer and you're outside Nigeria that you're supposed to actually be be job hunting too much. create templates and sell. I know it's not easy. It's easier said than done. But the moment you one sale clicks, trust me to continue clicking. When I
Yeah,
started teaching UI UX design, I think the first person that enrolled with me was paid me. It was supposed to be whether it's 20,000 or so, and he paid me 10,000. Up to today, he didn't pay me the remaining 10,000.
what happened?
So I don't know. He just
Mm,
he just didn't pay, and I asked him severally. He didn't pay, and I don't. I mean, I just left
yeah,
him. I didn't have energy for that.
yeah.
So I mean that develop designs templates and sell. I know there's Etsy is there, but Nigerians, unfortunately, we can't really sell on Etsy. There are other platforms outside the country that if you're outside the country, I think you should leverage on that. And the other day I saw on YouTube, a woman said she made as much as $72,000 from selling
That's cool.
templates.
I mean,
Very cool.
yeah, they could also post on, I don't know, events or theme forests. They actually take designs as well, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So the problem is, though there are some platforms that Nigerians can sell, but again, you can market for yourself,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
You can have on there's this platform I use to sell my what's the name? I can't remember. It's not Zoho, Stella.
Okay.
Stella, right? You create your products there, you upload, and maybe you put a link to it. Once people pay, they have a link to that
Yeah.
designs that you have, and you market and sell on social media. Keep doing adverts, right? And you will make money. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So they're like silent ways for you to say, okay, let me just do this thing, create. And don't focus on big companies and say, oh, I must work for like big companies. There's startups that are looking for people that will design platforms for them. Start with them. Make sure you do a good job. They will refer you. In short, most of my students from UI UX were not really from ads, they were from referral.
Oh,
Do you understand? Referral.
that's
If you do a
nice.
good job the first time, the next person will refer you. I haven't gotten a successful CV writing from ads. All are from referrals. One person alone has referred more than five persons to me this year for CV writing.
That's amazing.
Yes, network. Even I used to tell people that don't look down on anybody. Tell everybody that you know that you're into this thing that you're into. So when I started, it's only even gate men, the gate man at my work then knew that I was doing UI UX design.
That's
That's
cool.
how loud I am. I don't look down on anybody because my customer, you can be my customer
Of course.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I feel if you're trying to make money from design, think about how you can provide value for people, individuals first, and start creating value. Design, sell your template, framer. I know of a designer too that makes money from framer. He sells templates, framer templates, and people buy.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So, I mean, let's, I think the world is actually getting to the extent where it's not really about the job that you do. It's not really about being employed by a big company. It's
Mm,
about you as an individual. With value can you provide to anybody, whether
yeah.
an individual today or a corporate organization? You know, my clients are not necessarily big companies. They're like individuals that keep giving me referrals.
Yeah.
And that's how I work. So yeah, I think that's basically it. Just have an open mind and keep doing what you're doing.
I mean, you said a lot of things there, really beautiful. And as much as you did touch on different aspects, but you talked about templates, creating templates, design templates, and that is solid. You know, that is really
Yeah.
good. I know it could feel like a daunting task, like it's a lot of work for you to do because, you gotta pull all of that together and just hope that, it's gonna sell someday. then you do another one because you might just want to do one, and I think that probably people could also, say, you know what, I'm gonna try to stay organized, and I'm gonna say to myself, I'm gonna create design templates around these niches, all right?
Yeah.
So maybe finance, health, or Web3, whatever. You start making templates and stuff like that. So you do that, and later on you could add, other, platforms or niches
Yeah.
on, but yeah. What do you think about being a part of community? Like, I do know the people you manage, the ladies under you, the fact that they're under you, they're with you, it's really nice because then they've got a coach that's probably bring that sense of accountability, and they just within they just and there's community that can boost, just help them to be better and achieve their goals. But if someone is on his or her own, if they're just all to themselves, all by themselves, you know they're gonna need self motivation. So I think, what do you think about being part of a community, and stuff like that? Because then you could from there get things like accountability, for from the community or the coaches.
Yeah, I think being part of a community is actually very great. I think that's what my students enjoy from me, accountability.
Yeah.
Most times when I look at their feedback after each cohort, I or consistently a lot of people mention that the fact that I regularly check up on them and push them to take action in those fields, I feel like that actually goes a long way in helping them. And for me now, I didn't really have the luxury of having like a US community
Mhm.
when I started. And most people that I reached out to in terms of coaching,
Mhm.
it was more like, I don't know, you know how when you design something, you've put in your best. At that time, you don't know that it's not okay. That was your best at that time.
Oh yeah.
Then you have coaches or you have mentors, people that you look up to tell you that
Yeah,
this is bad, this is not good,
that's
you
right.
didn't do this right.
Yeah.
It's demoralizing. I think that's what I try to do differently in my community.
Hmm.
Like, I try to encourage people to be creative.
That's right.
Do you come up with something? When you come up with something, then we can analyze it together and, you know, make it better.
Yeah.
And it's not about telling someone that, oh, what you've done is terrible, is wrong, you should do,
Yeah.
so, but community is actually very important. It helps you to grow. In short, you network, you hear how people are pricing, how you can price your designs. If there are job opportunity, like in my community, I once most times once in a while I post job opportunities from here and there for my community members, right? And we have those kind of talks. What's your challenges? How do you um how do you get through? If they get gigs, how do I price?
Yeah.
I think it actually helps for someone that is starting up to be in a community. Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So, I do know that UI UX is a rapidly evolving field. How do you actually stay updated? How do you stay up to date with the new trends, the new tools, and what specific areas of UI UX do you think designers should focus on mastering to future-proof their careers?
Okay, so um what was the question again?
Okay, in summary, what do
Sorry.
you want to? Yeah, it's totally fine. So I do want to know you personally, how do you actually stay up to date with the new trends? You know, and
Oh,
yeah,
uh, just like we discussed earlier, community, right? I
yeah,
have in as much as I'm a content creator, I don't really consume social media content. So I streamline my social media content to be all about UI UX design. So if I log into my account on most all social media platform, it's all about UI UX design. and I follow top leaders in UI UX design on social media. I subscribe to their newsletters, and I belong to those kind of groups. They mostly keep me up to date on what is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of trend, what people should focus on,
Yeah.
um, well, it
I mean,
depends on
also
you.
think about, the emerging technologies of Go right now. For instance, there's plugins if you're using Figma or any other platform you're using. I know you guys, I work with designers, so I know quite a lot.
Okay.
There's plugins that could literally transform your designs into, or beyond actually transforming your designs into code, but there's plugins on Figma that could actually help you do a lot, help you create designs, and even AI could literally help you. I mean, you were talking about it the other day, right?
Yeah, so those AI has come to help us to make our work, let's say, to make you more, to help you think outside the box. But
Okay.
to be honest with you, as of today, the
Hmm.
AI is there to help us augment what we're doing and all of
Yeah.
that. But I wouldn't necessarily use AI for design, right? In terms of okay, so let me give you a typical instance. So there's a platform, a tech edutech platform that I was building. And part of the research, I did a research and I asked, one of the research questions was, which of the courses
Hmm.
do you take? Which of the tech courses do you find interesting or are you interested to take? So there was software engineering, there was cybersecurity, UI UX, So UI UX and cybersecurity, the number of responses were 58% out of the people, that
Okay.
out of the other courses. That I think there was one, I can't remember one, whether it's cloud computing. It was only one person that chose cloud computing.
All right.
So now I'm trying to explain to you the importance of you as a person designing your work. So what AI can do is just to help us to create maybe a more visually appealing interface. But when it comes to the brain work in terms of interpreting the data that you've gotten from research into your design, it actually leaves a lot of you as a person, right? So at that point, if I'm going to create the homepage for that edutech, and maybe I'm going to display the courses, explore our courses. What course do you think I'll put first? Am I going to put cloud computing that has 1% as part of the courses that people like first?
No. No.
I'm definitely not going to put it first. I'm going to put UI UX that had 58%,
Yeah.
followed by software engineering. Software engineering had, no, followed by cybersecurity because that one had 58% too. Then programming, software engineering. I'm going to put that one third. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So it's all about understanding the human, how people think. People are not coming to your platform to look at it because you think it's pretty. People are coming to just glance around it, and then if they don't see what they want at first glance, that's it. You have barely 5 seconds to grab someone's attention on your website, and you don't want to make a mess out of it. How do don't you For you not to make a mess, you have to rely on data. You have to be able to interpret the data. You understand? So
Yeah.
this is the kind of work I do as a designer, not just the aesthetics. So fine, I use how did I use AI in that work? Um, I think Free Pick has this AI where you just write the prompt and you generate images, right? You can generate images with that. What else can you do? What else? Maybe some text. You can use ChatGPT or some copywriting AI and then come up with something better. But again, I'm here to validate how, in terms of SS search engine optimization, how the keywords AI generates for me can actually help me convert clients. Do you understand where I'm coming
Yeah.
from? So again, today AI is good. I mean, I jump on every AI that comes on board because I want to stay abreast of everything happening in my field. But again, you still need us, We're so relevant. In the next 20 years, I don't think the relevance of UI UX designer is going to diminish in any way. So yeah, we just
Okay.
use AI to augment what we're doing. Yeah.
That's quite a nice prediction.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so let's talk about balancing creativity. I think you kind of like have talked about that in a way.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you might want us to say a thing or two, but balancing creativity and data. So, as a data-driven engineer or designer, how do you actually balance the need for creativity with the importance of data and analytics? So if you could share an example where data significantly, I mean, I think the first question you did talk about, the importance of data analysis in, UI UX. So
Yeah.
probably, do you think you see want to say anything about that?
No, it's all the same. You
Oh
need
yeah.
data when it comes to like your designs. You need to be able to use data to um make your design better. Again, design is not just about the UI. I keep telling people, do you do airdrops?
Nah.
Uh, just after now, go to Telegram and explore airdrops.
All right.
There are some airdrops that their interface is horrible,
Oh
but
yeah.
people are using it.
Okay.
People are using it. In short, there's one that is tomato. Let me check how many people they have on that platform.
All right. Let's do it.
I mean, I mean, if not because they're giving so much value to
Yeah.
people, um, perceived value accordingly. Let me use that word because I'm not sure that they have listed today. So I
Uh-huh.
belong to all those platforms. This is how I keep. I'm on trend.
Yeah.
Like I jump on trends and I need to understand what's happening.
Yeah.
So let me see. Tomato has how many people here? Okay.
Okay. Seems you're gonna say they've
Just give
got
me
a
a moment.
huge following.
They have like they don't their following is not 1 million. These airdrops, their
Yeah.
following is in 200 million, 20 million. You understand?
Oh,
And those
wow,
people
cool.
are playing on the platform.
Oh my God, that's quite interesting.
Exactly. That I keep saying that you see the role of data, understanding what the people want,
Yeah,
the role of product marketing cannot be replaced with a beautiful UI.
that's right.
You understand? In
Yeah,
as much as a very good UI is great, but data has to be there. You have to
yeah.
work with what people
I
want.
see where you're
Yeah,
going with this. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So that's it. Excuse me.
Okay. Okay, so let's talk about why you might be looking up that. Totally fine, you could bring it up anytime. But let's talk
Okay.
about starting with free tools. We've got UI UX designers right now, and um you're in this podcast right now,
So is
so
sorry, is up. It's twenty
okay.
nine point 493 million 600 monthly users on
30,
Tomato.
30
Yeah,
million.
that's almost, this is their platform. This is what
Yeah,
their app is like.
interesting.
You understand?
Yeah.
Exactly. So you need to understand how the human mind works and then do your research very well and come up with something interesting.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing. That's really cool. I'm gonna check them out later after this. So, yeah, talking about starting with free tools, I do want to know for aspiring designers, the word developers just in my mouth, because I'm a developer.
Yeah, it's fine.
So, for aspiring designers who may not have access to high-end design software, do you want to talk about some of the free or affordable tools you recommend for beginners to get started with UI UX?
So most UI UX tools are kind of free. Figma is free,
Oh yeah, but for limited
except
projects.
no, not
Okay.
necessarily. Except you want to collaborate. Just some on Teams project, limited number of teams that you can create. But on your
Okay.
personal file, you can create as many pages as you want.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But the Figma subscription is not even expensive,
Yeah.
right? And for Figma has made it so easy that we have plugins that can help you generate
Yeah.
images, icons, anything, and it's free.
Do you think
Do you
Figma?
understand?
Yeah. Do you think Figma has any competitor?
Figma does not have any competitor to me. There is
Yeah.
no competitor for Figma. As of today that I speak, oh, but I mean, a lot of companies are actually leaving whichever product that they're using to come for Figma. Figma has, again, and I told you, understand the users.
Mhm.
So Figma focus on simplicity, making it so simple for anyone that goes to that platform to just drag and drop, drag and drop. You're
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
complicating yourself just like Adobe's products are.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Figma made it easy. So to me, I don't know if there are any competitors or Figma does not have any competitor to me.
All
You
right.
understand? But
Yeah. But you
Figma is not UI UX anyway. Figma is just a tool. So there are other tools there, Sketch, that people can use. Most of their interfaces are kind of similar to if you go on them. And I think a lot of organizations are actually evolving. And that's
Mhm.
why you see platform like Framer. Anybody can use Framer too. Framer, you can use it to load a website. So you just drag and drop. You can export your designs from Figma to Framer, and you're good.
All right. That's cool.
Yeah.
So let's talk about learning resources. So there's lots of resources out there, right? So if you've got any specific courses, books, or platforms you might want to recommend to others, um, go for it.
No, I'm only recommending my YouTube channel. You can
Let's go.
learn UX from my YouTube channel, Pamela the
Okay.
Designer.
Okay.
So yeah, and my website for Hello Dreams, I have a startup, Hello Dreams.
All right.
My website is going to launch probably this month. So on that website, you're going to have courses, UI US courses that you can learn. There's also some free courses that you can also learn, and there's also paid courses that you can learn, beginners,
Oh
intermediate,
yeah.
advanced UI US courses. Yes.
That's cool, Pam. It's really nice. Doing lots.
Yep.
Do you have a wait list or, a link that you're gonna share with me? I'm gonna put in the description so they can learn about it immediately you launch, or do you want them to follow you on LinkedIn
Yeah, they can follow me on
or YouTube?
LinkedIn. I have a wait list for
Okay.
my cohort 5,
All
my
right.
cohort 5 for UI UX design for next year.
All right.
So I have a wait list already for that, and the people on the wait list are going to get a discount once we start next
Oh,
year.
I see.
That's a private class. It's a live class that I do for 8 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, but of course I'm gonna Pam's link, Pamela's link, I'm talking about Pamela. I call her Pam sometimes. Pam's link is gonna be in the description below your YouTube link, all right?
Yeah, YouTube, LinkedIn,
You're just gonna
Instagram. I'm
send me
gonna
all of
send
them, yeah.
you.
So you can
Sure.
contact her, and she's very friendly actually. Yeah, very nice as well. Okay, so feel free to reach out to her and talk to her, and yeah, go from there. All right. So let's talk about mentorship. So you also a mentor, in this space. Do you want to talk about common mistakes or misconceptions, you actually see from um beginners, and how do you help guide them towards success?
I think the first one is some of the mistake I see. Number one is people are confused. They feel like being confused is a bad thing, but that confusion is great. It means that you have started thinking. right? They will
Yeah.
say, "Oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to go about this."
Yeah.
I like it when I'm confused. Anytime I'm confused, I say, "Okay, with my confusion, I'll figure out something." There's going to be like a lot of thoughts coming to my head. And at the same time, I might end up exploring several things. By exploring several things, I get to learn several things at the same time. You
Yeah.
understand?
That's
So,
right.
one, confusion does not mean that you are not good enough or you're stupid or you're dumb. No, confusion is healthy for humans.
Right.
Two, um, thinking that they're not perfect and so they cannot push themselves out there. I keep saying it. The people that will hire you, they are not professional designers. So even if a professional designer tell you today that your work is not fine, take the feedback, yes. But that should not deter you from posting your work. Keep showing up. My student, it was the fourth week. The last cohort three, she's
Okay.
in US. She's in US. The fourth week, a headhunter reached out to her for a UI US internship. And to be honest, at that point, her designs are not yet. If you ask me as a someone that has been designing, I can't tell you that her design is up to that standard yet. But
Okay.
she got an internship and she's doing it.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
The people that will recruit you, they might not be, they might not just be looking out for how your UI looks like or you understand, they might be
Yeah.
looking out for some other skills, your skills in user experience, your communication skills, your team player skills, because you can actually learn on the job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's basically it. And again, not having like a working portfolio or thinking that you must have a very perfect portfolio before you start applying for job. That's a myth. Even today, I keep making my portfolio better. Every day, there's something I want to put on my portfolio. So start up with whatever you have for now. If it just you putting the links to your designs on your resume or your CV, put it there and keep applying, right? But as long as you're putting in your best at that point, and if you've gotten a feedback, take the feedback and improve yourself. I think everything will be fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it.
All right. That's really cool. So I know right now you do a lot of things, right? And you're working, you're doing this, beautiful. I do want to know, how do you maintain, in previously you talked about imposter syndrome. Well, this might not really relate to that, but I just want to know from you, how do you maintain a healthy work-life balance? And what advice do you have for those who feel overwhelmed in this industry? It's similarly fast-paced, isn't it?
Um, I'm not going to lie.
Tell me.
There's nothing that is. I think we all have challenges,
That's
right?
right.
So in terms of work, sometimes work can be overwhelming.
Yeah.
And what I do mostly is, I think, for me now, I always have like a to-do list
Okay.
in 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 my when I wake up. I have things that I've already itemized that I'm going to do for that day. And being someone that has a work to currently, I have a job that I do. I also have my um, content creation and all of these things going on.
Yeah.
I don't play with my weekends, right? You have to make sacrifices in terms of maybe your social life if you're building something. Today, now, me, I'm building Hello Dreams.
Yeah.
I want to, the platform is not really just to make money, but my vision is to be able to help people that feel like they're lost, confused, career wise, and all of that. If you come to Hello Dreams, you're going to have like a mentor. We have that talk. We identify your skills. We train you in terms of skill acquisition, because it's not just going to be UI UX that we're going to be learning, right? You can have a mentor on the platforms, if you have a brand, we help you because we're also into social media management, graphic designs, branding, and all of those things.
Okay.
So, with all those things that I'm doing all on the side, right? I can't lie that there are not days that I feel down. And but one thing I told myself, or one thing my dad used to say is, there's no situation in life, whether it's good or bad, that is permanent.
Yeah.
So even though I feel bad today, like this week has been, or rather, this month has been a very hectic month. I'm speaking to you today, but day before yesterday, I lost my cousin, and it was a very bad thing. I felt very bad. It
Wow.
was horrible. Yes,
Sorry to hear
right.
that.
But because of that saying of nothing lasts forever. So when I feel bad or when I feel overwhelmed with work, I just I just relax, right? I
Yeah.
allow it to pass. I don't take actions when I'm too overwhelmed or too and all of that. Again, how do I balance work? How have a work life balance?
Hmm.
In reality, I'm not going to lie you.
Tell
You
me.
have to sacrifice something.
Yeah.
You have, if you want to have it all, you have something you're doing, you still have it work, you have to sacrifice. For me, is my weekends. I can't even remember the last time I hung out during the weekends. So weekends, I'm there building Hello Dreams, or creating content or mentoring, right? And
Yeah.
my night from 7 till 9, I'm teaching UI UX design, right?
Yeah.
So I have all of those things going on. I have my to do, whatever I set out to do every day. I put it out there. This is what I'm going to achieve this today. This is what I have to achieve this month. For this year, I already have what I want to achieve. But I'm not going to kill myself when I feel overwhelmed. When I feel overwhelmed, I lie down.
Yeah.
But if I feel tired, that
Okay.
doesn't mean that I will stop.
Yeah.
Most times why we don't achieve so many things is because you're not motivated to do something on that day. Maybe you're
Hmm.
feeling not motivated. I'll
Yeah.
sit on my system, I'll sit on my chair, and I'll continue what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Except I'm so overwhelmed that maybe I feel like fainting, then I'll go and lie down
Take a
and I'll
break.
sleep.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So, but um if the good thing is, if you're lucky to work in a healthy environment like me, is not that bad. But if you find yourself in an unhealthy work environment, try as much as possible to live there. Because I've worked in an unhealthy place, and I know the difference with working in a healthy place. You understand?
Yeah.
And if you feel, if there are things that is overwhelming you, find someone to talk to. It helps. Don't bottle it up. If you have your mom, your dad, anybody there, your sibling, go and rant. Especially for us designers, when they have given you bad words, if they don't like your design, go and rant somewhere else. When you finish ranting, come back and say, "Oh, thank you so much for your feedback. I'm going
uh,
to make the adjustment." I think that's just how
that's
I,
cool.
I I manage. Yeah,
That's very nice. All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
So, looking back, what's one piece of advice you'd give to your younger self when you were just starting out in UI UX design? What do you wish you'd known earlier or sooner?
Eh? That there's money in UI UX design, and that you can be anything you want to be.
Oh yeah.
Yes, you can actually be anything. When I started, I was confused.
Mm, yeah.
I was so confused. But today, I can't even believe that I'm here.
Yeah.
So to my younger self, just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Um, you are definitely going to make it. It is certain that you're
Yeah.
going to make it. So yeah.
All right. Yeah. That was the last question. So we've actually come to the end of the podcast. Do you have any final words or,
Yeah. So again, thank you so much, Joshua, for having me. It's been quite an interesting conversation. I think the second time we're speaking,
yeah,
and it's interesting. And I
my
saw
pleasure.
that you started a software engineering job, right?
Oh yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Um, and you moved to Lagos, right?
Oh yeah. Probably, I don't know, maybe later on we might get to see. I saw the I don't know. I don't know what to call it, like UI UX team hangout, something like that. You posted on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I was a guest speaker for another
Oh,
community. That's I'm a mentor in that community.
yeah.
So I was a guest speaker for them. Yeah,
Oh, it's cool. I mean, we're in the same city, so maybe we could meet up sometime. I don't know.
that's fine.
That's cool.
And thank you to everyone that is going to tune in. My name is Pamela. I'm on all social media platforms as Pamela the designer on LinkedIn and Pamela Ohaeri. And follow my brand, Hello Dreams. Right? So
Yeah.
it's going to be the next Google brand
Okay.
or the next Meta or the next Elon
Let's
Musk
go.
brand.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
so the vision I have um is mostly just kind of helping people. Someone that you're confused career wise, business wise. Hello Dream just helps you in terms of positioning you there. You want your brand to speak volume. We create a brand identity for you in terms of logo, everything relating to your brand. We also make like if you also want to print out things on your t-shirt, we do all of that. And again, most importantly, we do career mentorship. So if you want to transition or you're confused in your career, what we do is to kind of handhold you from um, you figuring out what you want to do to writing your CV, optimizing your social media platforms, and positioning yourself out there. We do all of those things.
That's
So
cool.
yeah, follow Hello Dreams on all social media platforms, TikTok,
Yeah.
YouTube, LinkedIn, and yeah. And if you want to learn UI UX, cohort 5 is coming up, so you all can join. The wait list will be on this. I'll send it to Joshua.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's gonna be in the description. Just go there. You're gonna see there everything.
All
Yeah.
right. All right.
Good. Pam, are you subscribed to all my channels?
Yeah, I think I am.
Okay, I'm gonna send them to you again. But you wanna go ahead and tell the people to like and subscribe to this channel?
Yes, like and subscribe to this channel. Yes, and
They should
give
like the video.
Joshua
Yeah.
like the video. Give Joshua a thumbs up. He's doing a good job.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, thank you so much, Pam. It's been absolutely phenomenal. I do want to say thank you again for actually, doing this. It was quite, it took a minute for us to actually schedule this, you know, but finally we scheduled it and we had it. And yeah, you put in a lot of effort and your insights were absolutely, valuable. I enjoyed our conversation and probably later
Yes.
on sometime later we could have another podcast, maybe talking about a specific topic. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
All right. Thank you again, and do have a beautiful rest of your day, Pam.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day too. Bye.
Bye.